we are still in downtown Spruce Pine, North Carolina, and we are with Sherry Saltner. And Sherry, tell us a little bit about your role for Spruce Pine and how long have you lived here and such.
Well, I moved here in 1992, and I feel like this is my home from the very beginning because my family lived in Rogersville, Tennessee, and Cherokee, so I'm right in the heart of it. And Spruce Pine is very near and dear to me. I own Spruce Pine Southern Shows. I run the Spruce Pine Alien Festival that's going to be here June 14th in 2025. And we've had that show for about 4 years, and it's just heartbreaking to see what has happened to Spruce Pine because it is one of the most beautiful towns in the world. And I have to say, it brings men to tears, literally, at the devastation and the nice things and the donations that have been given by viewers like you. And we have to say that FEMA and the Virginia Search and Rescue has done everything they can. The National Guard, we're very thankful just to be alive. And so many homes were literally flooded out or just totally torn off their foundations and washed away. We've had, for instance, French Broad Electric has lost 240,000 telephone poles, power poles, and they have restored power to about 80% of the residents here. And they have done miracles in such a short time, literally in just a couple weeks, 14 days and on, people are starting to get their power back. And there's been 200-mile-an-hour winds registered in Mount Mitchell, which is not far away from here. We had 140-mile-an-hour gusts. The town of Spruce Pine here, which you see the debris behind us, this is all from businesses that were ruined and destroyed. And these businesses need your help. They had over 13 feet of water. The whole street here was just covered over because the rivers rose about 50 feet. They washed away bridges, roads, infrastructures, businesses. They're literally starting from scratch. They're being offered SBA loans through FEMA, but what they really need is your donations. They need your help. This mass devastation should never happen to any town, and we're so far from the ocean. We never dreamed that we would have to worry about 36 inches of rain in just less than 30 hours. And so even if you were on a hillside, it didn't matter. Every single home in Mitchell County and Yancey were in a flood zone, no matter where they were located. And so many homes and towns were just wiped off the face of the earth. And like I said, men were driven to tears at the donations given. It is amazing what has happened, but really what we need now is generators, heating fuel. We need supplies, but we also need your donations. The cash donations are what we need to help out this town. Now, downtown Main Street Spruce Pine has it set up where you can make donations directly to the town. We also have local businesses like DT's Coffee Shop. They need your donations. All these businesses, and we are looking at a lot of this mass devastation and all this debris coming out of all the businesses here, but also from the Carolina Theater, which has been a mainstay here for over 100 years. It is wiped out and devastated. They have the bare bones, but they do not have the funds to bring their businesses back. And so when you lose everything and it's all wiped away in a matter of hours and you have nothing to rebuild with, we need your help, the viewers, to come here to give us supplies, to bring, if you have a tree company, come on up and help for the day. If you have a landscape company, if you have a way to supply generators, come on up and help this area. And then also go online. Just dig in and try to find ways to help Spruce Pine as a whole. Look for ways to go to GoFundMe pages. Just help us as much as you can. And Spruce Pine is very, very glad for your help because they need it. It has been devastating, literally, Rusty. It's just been really hard on the residents. A lot of them, I think, have PTSD, from it. And they're really going to be struggling. And I know many families have no homes. Right now, they're saying 2,500 families do not have homes. And most of them are from Mitchell County, Spruce Pine area, Yancey County, and Buncombe.
Now, I know up to today, they're saying there's 95 people dead in North Carolina and in the 90s missing. But I keep talking to people, and everybody feels like it's much higher than that.
I hate to say it. I really think between the two counties of Mitchell and Yancey, it could be in the hundreds and hundreds, like 200 to 500 is what I'm hearing, because they can't verify it yet, or they can't find them, and they know they're missing, but they just don't know where they are. Now, from what I've heard in Mitchell County, they have done a grid search of 2,500 homes. So they've literally gone to the homes and seen who is at home, who is sheltering in place. They're asking us to stay off the roads. They had an 8 o'clock curfew. I know they moved it to 10 o'clock, but they're asking if you do not need to drive, please do not drive. The reason why is we're trying to put the main infrastructure back in for the town and the area of Mitchell County, as well as Yancey County, because we have hundreds and hundreds of dump trucks that are trying to deliver gravel to businesses and get things running again. We have hundreds and hundreds of electrical trucks that are on the roads right now, and it's not safe. Let's just be honest. There's trees down everywhere. There's tens of thousands of trees down. They're leaning over these major highways and roads where you travel, and they're just not safe. They're ready to fall at any minute. So we want you to shelter in place, stay home if you can. I know it's a little hard because we do not have internet yet, and we may not have that for 3 to 4 months. It's going to be a little bit of a haul. Most people have power service. I would say about 70 to 80% right now. They're working diligently. They said French Broad Electric and Duke have 2 to 4 weeks left of getting everyone back online as far as power goes, and we need it because winter is coming.
It seems like this area is going to be the last area to get power throughout the whole western part of North Carolina, it looks like.
Well, there are some really remote areas like Beulah Dean and Red Hill, and some people that are literally off grid as well. But this is a far-reaching county, and it goes a long distance, and there's a lot of homes that are just really out in the middle of nowhere. And so when you have so many trees down on the poles, that's one thing. But then you also have where the trees have knocked the power lines down, and the boxes that are on people's homes are not connected anymore. And so you're responsible for your box that's connected to the pole. So you have to have an electrician come out and fix that. So that's why so many people will go without power for a very long time. So we need electricians. We need tree cutting companies to come up and help us with their resources. So anybody that wants to help donate cash, anything that supplies as far as, generators, heating supplies, things like that, we really need that.
So the best thing to do is just go online and try to search for drop-off locations and that sort of thing.
Yeah, you can actually come up here and go to any church. There's a lot of things set up at all the churches for drop-off of any kind of goods. There's also going to be the FEMA headquarters, which is located at the Senior Center. We'll be sure to get you that phone number so you can call them if you want to donate any kind of services or help out in any way. And we really appreciate your help, and we thank you from the bottom of our hearts from Spruce Pine, North Carolina.
Now, tell us a little bit about the Carolina Theater. We'll walk over here. And now, Sherry, we are in front of the Carolina Theater. Tell us a little bit about the theater.
Well, the Carolina Theater is very special. It's been here at least 100 years, and it had some major flooding. And they were calling all hands on deck yesterday through social media on Facebook to come and actually do some work to clean it out because it had 4 to 5 feet of clay in it and silt and debris from the river right here. And people did come. They did clean it out. We have a lot of debris that you can see in the parking lot next door, and we're trying to maintain our small town and keep the things that are iconic. And the Carolina Theater is definitely iconic to our town. It's a very small theater, and if you ever went there, you would walk in and they'd sell you a ticket, and then they would run around and get you your popcorn, and then the same person would run around and turn on the machine so you could watch your movie, which I thought was really, really kind of a cool thing. And so I enjoyed it, and it's definitely one of the things that we need to try to get donations for to rebuild, because in this small town we need every little bit of our iconic history. And this has been in pictures from like the early 1900s, and everybody knows the Carolina Theater, and it is something that I cherish, and I think everyone here sees as something special, and we would love to save it. Follow us. We'll show you real quickly the inside of it after it's been cleaned. So in here you'll see where we had water probably at least 9 feet high, and then we had silt and debris, and it was about 4 to 5 feet high. Inside, if you walk in farther, you'll see that they're going to start absolutely from nothing. The original screen was up here. It is now missing. All the seats are missing. All the check-in area where you would check in and buy your tickets is missing. So literally it's the bare bones. It's like starting from scratch, generally trying to build your business again. And I can't imagine how long this might take, because they're talking about our infrastructure here taking at least a decade to come back for Spruce Pine, and that's a long time. And there's a lot of missing jobs, and if you think about it. So we're projecting probably 33% unemployment in the town itself. We did lose our major grocery store, Ingles, and we also lost Baxter's, which a lot of people here in Mitchell County worked at Baxter's. And Baxter's, they had like saline solution that they made, and they had a flooding, so it was all corrupted. And so they provide saline for the whole world. I mean, literally. So we are going to be in a lot of trouble here in Spruce Pine if we don't get back on our feet quickly. And we definitely need those donations to help out, because as you can see, it's just total devastation. And this is after it's been cleaned up. Literally, they spent days and days cleaning the streets off with big, heavy equipment to get all the silt and clay and dirt out of here, so we could start, trying to at least get into the businesses and then clean those out as well. So it is a major task, and this is what 16 days later, 17 days later, and we're still struggling as far as just getting back on our feet with even power.
Now, you showed me a notice on your phone about there would be raw sewage put into the river.
Yeah, I think they were projecting 4 years before they could rebuild the sewer plant. And I'm really concerned about that, because as it stands right now, so much debris had gone down the rivers, and this all flows into like Irwin, Tennessee. It travels, I think this river branches off, and it goes into the ocean. And so we really need to think about what we're going to do for the future of Spruce Pine and get that FEMA money here, because if we don't have the FEMA money to help rebuild these sewer plants and get our infrastructure back, like the bridges that are missing and the roads, we're really going to be struggling overall.
Yeah, I think maybe on this side of the Continental Divide, it all flows towards the Mississippi. And you were saying that there was a tanker that they found 50 miles downstream.
Yeah, matter of fact, we're going to go down and take a look at that. It's Tri-County's fuel, and they actually have fuel tankers and a truck, and that water had come up 50, 60 feet to their business and went over the bridge and washed away their vehicles, and they found them over 50 miles away downriver in Irwin, Tennessee, of all places. That's a long distance to travel. I just can't believe how far things are really traveling. And then they found it there and called them and said, hey, we have your tanker.
Oh, that's amazing, the power of water.
Yeah, and it's stunning, and it's scary, and all in the same breath. So we're really hopeful to rebuild here, and we're strong. Neighbors were helping neighbors. They would come over and to see if you're okay, and if you needed something, they were there for you. If you needed your driveway fixed, or you needed a tree cut down, or if you had tractor work to do, I saw neighbors going out of their way. Once they got on their feet, they would branch out and go to the next neighbor. Western North Carolina is a very strong place, and to live here is just heartwarming, because we are all in it together, and we're going to be strong, and we're going to fight back, and we're not going to let this storm beat us, and we are going to get back on our feet again. Trust me.
We're back in downtown Spruce Pine for the Wise News Network, and I'm Rusty Wise. And as you can see by the interviews, there was a lot of destruction, but also there's been a lot of community involvement and help. So we're elevated a little bit. But as we go down to Lower Street, it was flooded, as our interviews showed. So Spruce Pine, North Carolina is slowly recovering, but they need your help. By all the interviews you saw, they need monetary help. They need donations. The downtown merchants need money to get back on their feet. A lot of them did not have insurance. A lot of them had loans on their businesses. So now they have zero income. So go back, call the numbers, go to the sites that they mentioned, and help Spruce Pine, North Carolina, and Mitchell County, North Carolina. I'm Rusty Wise with the Wise News Network. Until you see us again, so long.